Oh, okay. We are live. I think we're live. Yeah, I believe we are. Okay, we are live. I think we're live. Hey, Rodney. Hey, Michael. So, something weird happened on my screen here. Yeah, we're both alive. Uh, so, yeah, I was wanting to know how many of you guys are aware that Adobe is going up on their photography plan. I'm sure everybody's seen the videos by now, and I want to kind of explain that just a little bit, what you have to do. So I've been a Lightroom user for, I don't know, 6, 7 years maybe. I've always been on the subscription plan. I have chose always to pay monthly. Okay. And the monthly charge in to my bank account was $9.99 plus tax. It came out to about, I don't know, 10.58 or something like that. I just never had the annual where I paid annually. Okay. I just always paid every month. And I guess the reasoning for that in my head was if I wanted to cancel, I could just cancel at any time. Okay. Um, anyways, Lightroom is going up in January, and here's what's going to happen. If you are on the 20 gigabyte, $9.99 a month photography plan, they have two of them. They have the 20 gigabyte, and then they have the 1 terabyte. I think the 1 terabyte currently is $20 a month, and the 19.99, and the 20 gigabyte is just $9.99 of cloud storage. I don't use the cloud storage, okay? Some of you might, I don't. Anyways, I found out that here's what you got to do. You've got to convert yourself to paying annually, okay? And there's no way in your account settings to do that. Here's what you have to do. You have to contact support in the chat box. And here's what they'll do. They will cancel your current subscription, the monthly subscription, and credit you back for what you haven't used this month. And then they will reinstate you on the annual plan, and you will pay annually at that moment. Okay. He will send you a link, and you'll have to pump in your credit card number, and you'll be paying annually at that moment. So I did it on the, I think it was on the 19th I did it. And here's what that does for you. It locks you in to the $9.99 a month rate. If you don't do it before January 15th, it's going to be $14.99, okay, a month. And you'll never be able to go back and get the $9.99 again. That's going away. But you all that have been in it, the 20 gigabyte cloud plan, photography plan for $9.99, you're grandfathered in. And from what I hear, it's not that won't change at all. You just have to start paying for it annually. So I kind of squawked. Here's a little tip for you if you haven't done it yet. I kind of squawked a little bit about it, and he gave me I think the annual is $119.99 for annual. I think he gave it to me for $99.99, okay, for the first year. So I got a little bit of a discount, okay, by just squawking about it a little bit. I said, damn, that's awful expensive. But anyways, just so you know, if you are paying monthly, you want to do something if you're going to continue on the $9.99 plan, okay? If Adobe had wiped that out completely and had gone to $20 a month for the same plan, I don't think I would be a customer anymore, okay? I do have a paid copy of On One Max. I have used it from time to time as a plug-in. It is a standalone photo editor, and that is one of the products that you could pay once and own. I also am an owner of Affinity Photo, and I have been an owner of Affinity Photo for a long time. Maybe when they first came out, I think the first version of it was like $39.99, and that was lifetime. Okay. Now they've come through some major upgrades, and normally on the major upgrades, they want you to pay up again, which I understand. I have kept that intact. So I have two photo editing programs on my computer that I could switch to. It would be a small inconvenience. I guess it's more like your brain has to get wrapped around stuff like this. It's what you get used to, okay? And I'll give you an example of that right now. I do a lot of editing, video editing, and I use a product called Adobe Premiere Elements. It's part of the package of the Adobe Photo Elements. Okay, but I only have the Premiere, which is the video editing capabilities. It's not real powerful, but it's really good. It's really easy to use, and I've gotten used to it over the years, and I've used it since about 2018 or 19 when I bought the first copy of it for $79, and it's what I've used for years. Well, I can get DaVinci Resolve for free, and I have it on my computer, and I've tried it a few times. But it's one of those things where your brain gets, used to doing something, and your brain gets used to doing something with a software program, and then all of a sudden you got to change. Okay. When I first started editing digital photographs back in 2000, the only thing we had was Adobe Photoshop, and there was a few other little programs out there called ACDC was a organizing software. There were some others I can't remember, but Photoshop was the main thing we use to edit photographs. And here's the thing, the Photoshop back then was not geared around photographers. It was geared around graphic artists, okay? So we had things like unsharp mask. Hey, is that weird? Okay, unsharp mask. That's how you sharpened your photographs. Gaussian blur was another one we used. We didn't have any cataloging management or anything like Lightroom gives us. Okay, we just had folders. We created folders. Like, okay, and you work within those folders. So I guess you can still do that in your brain, but what's happened is you get so conditioned using these software programs like Lightroom, and it manages your catalog for you, okay? And then the next thing you know, you're going to change off to another software package, in your brain, especially my brain, okay? My brain's 67 years old. It doesn't change rapidly. But if I was forced into it, okay, I do believe that I could do that, all right? I'm not chastising Adobe, okay? Hey, we have ridden that horse for a long time. To me, and some people are different than me, to me, paying $9.99 a month for a software program that I use almost daily, okay, is not a big deal. I mean, that's a go out to eat lunch, okay, once a month. Just don't eat lunch once a month if you go out to eat for lunch, okay? And you'll pay for it. It's maybe 2 or 3 cups of coffee, So to me, but I know a lot of people, and I get it, it's the principle. It's the principle that they pay every month. But let me tell you something. Back in 2000, okay, a copy of Photoshop, all right, would have cost you almost $600, like $500, something like that. Yeah. Now, the copies I used were bootleg, off of Pirate Bay or somewhere where you get and we used them illegally because a lot of us photographers couldn't afford to pay $500 for a software package, okay? And every time they upgraded, they would go, they started out with Adobe CS1 and then went right up the line, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So every time they came out with CS2 or CS3, you could upgrade if you wanted to. You could stop where you was at, but you had to pay like, I don't know, $100, something like that back in those days. So, to me, paying Adobe what I pay them is not a big deal. It may become a big deal though, okay? It just depends. I mean, it's not important to me, the cataloging part. And I'm going to show you some Adobe stuff tonight, some Lightroom stuff. We're going to talk about how to clean up your catalog and what have you. And I'm sure for the ones that aren't using Adobe, this will probably be boring. Hold on right here a second. Yeah, Rodney ditched Adobe a few years back. What are you using now, Rodney? Bass Anglers is Rodney. He said that he ditched Adobe a few years back. What do you use now to edit your photographs with? So I don't get that, Michael. Pay annually. Another option for Mac owners would be Pixelmator, and Photometer. Apple just bought the company. Huh. That's a good. Let me write that down. I didn't know that. Pixelmator and Photometer. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Use the Nikon stuff. And, that works pretty good. I know a lot of people that don't use Lightroom. They use Photoshop and Bridge. Okay. But they don't use Lightroom. They just never went off on Lightroom. These are probably users that have been using Photoshop for years. Okay, to edit their photographs with and stuff. So yeah, anyways, the Adobe stuff's going up, and just remember what I said there. If you're going to continue using it, you might want to change over before January 15th when they do go up. Okay, I already paid for my year, okay, so I'll have it for another year. We'll see what happens at the end of next year, what I decide to do. I don't know, you know, but it is a piece of software that I use daily, and I spend a lot of time in when I'm doing my editing and stuff. I have a lot of other software that's coupled to it, like Topaz on one plugins, the Nick collection. Excuse me. Excuse me. I had fried chicken for supper. I told my wife I didn't want that fried chicken for supper. She made it anyways. Pardon me. Anyways, yeah. Hey, let me talk about something else now for a minute. Okay, this is something else that's going to hit your pocketbook too. Okay. So, uh, I had to switch over my telephone, my iPhone, to another phone. Well, I had to get my own phone service. Okay. You notice this cup right here? This here's Tim Childers' new Retired Me cup that's coming out on his Retired Me channel December 31st or January 1st, okay? He sent me one for Christmas, okay? Because I retired. But this is a cool cup. This is all of a sudden has become my favorite cup to drink out of coffee, okay? Anyways, let me tell you about something else that maybe some of you do or do not know. Years ago, I was a Verizon customer. I was a contract Verizon customer. I had contract plans. You got free cell phones. Had to pay for over. Had to agree to stay on their contract for 2 years, and the prices just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And a few years ago, my wife and I switched off onto prepaid Verizon cards, okay, and converted those to auto pay. And we got like 5 gigs of data a month and unlimited text and talk for like $35 a month, okay? And we've had that for a long time. About 3 years ago, I switched my phone and went on our corporate plan at work, and they were using AT&T. So my phone was tied in with the corporate plan. So being that I'm retiring in just about 10 days, okay, I had to get off of their corporate plan. So I started searching around for plans. Now my wife is still on her Verizon prepaid plan. It has never changed. It's $35 a month, okay, which to me is pretty reasonable. So I looked at two different services. Well, first I went to Comcast because that's our cable TV, or not our cable TV. That's our internet provider at the house, our cable modem, and they had a special deal. They're gonna give me a free phone and all this kind of stuff. And I have an iPhone 13 Pro, and I'm wanting to upgrade to the 16 Pro so I could get better video stabilization and all that, you know. Anyways, I went over there and they started talking. They wrote out a big quote and everything, and I said, well, they don't sound too bad. I'm gonna go home and think about it. So I went by the AT&T store, and they were just ridiculous. Okay, they wanted like $65 or $70 a month for an unlimited type plan, and no discounts or anything. I said that's too much money. And then I went to what was the other place I went to? Uh, I can't remember the other place I went to, but I finally, got to thinking about what Tim had told me, and he's on Mint Mobile. Okay, now I'm out in the country. Tim lives in the city. Mint Mobile does not have any stores. They have a senior option. It's like $15 a month. Okay, and you're dealing with somebody online. You're not even going to a store or anything to get this Mint Mobile stuff. The problem with them is they piggyback off of T-Mobile towers. Okay, well, where I live, I start checking the coverage of T-Mobile here in the area I live in, and it's terrible. It's not very good. It's okay in the city down in Crossville and stuff, but when I go out hiking and stuff, and I'm up on the mountain riding my side by side or something, I need to have some kind of service. Okay, I don't need to be out of service. And the AT&T was the only one that really gave me the good service I needed to do. Anyways, so Mint Mobile was out of the question. So I went down. We have a Cricket store here in town. I don't know if you've heard of Cricket or not. Cricket piggybacks off of AT&T towers, which is a plus. So I went down there and I talked to them, and I got on a plan with them for $30 a month, 5 gigs, unlimited talk, unlimited text. And if you add a second phone line, you get it for a discount. You get a discount for both those lines. So that's what I did. I switched to Cricket. So I'm giving a plug for Cricket here. I don't know if anybody's tried them before or heard them before, but to me, they were very nice at the store. It didn't take but 30 minutes to switch my phone over onto their plan. I set up the auto pay. I have an app on my phone. I can check it all out and all that. So yeah, that's what I did. Now, I did not get a new phone. That I decided to do differently, okay? We're just going to buy our phones. That's what I think we're going to do. We found that it's just better to go and buy your phone. The iPhone that my wife is using now is a iPhone 8, I think it is. We actually went to the Apple store in Knoxville and bought it at the store. We just find it's better to own your own device instead of going through these payment hoops and everything else. And Cricket would have given me a phone if I had signed up for their $60 a month deal. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Usually, if they want to give you a phone, they want you to commit, okay, to some kind of contractual agreement. So basically, what Cricket is, and probably Mint also, is just a prepaid. Okay, and that's the way to go. And these they're all using, like Cricket's using AT&T towers. Okay, there's another, I can't think of the other one. There's another prepaid service out there. Oh, Xfinity. Comcast is using Verizon towers. So anyways, let's just give a plug for Cricket. I thought it was pretty nice of them down there, and I enjoyed working with the young man that helped me out. And we're just going to go out after Christmas and buy our own phones, instead of getting these payment plans. Anyways, the main part of the stream tonight was to talk about decluttering, okay? And a lot of it, there's 2 things to declutter for me. One is my Lightroom catalog, okay? And the other is my video, okay? Doing all these videos. I got 4 different YouTube channels, and 2 of them, not the photography channel, 2 of them I created a lot of videos for, and I've got a lot of files that I needed to clean out. Yeah. So I'm an Apple person. We have iPads. I have a MacBook. I've looked at Android phones before, but again, that's another one of them brain fart things. You're either an Android person or an Apple person. That's the way I look at it, But anyways, I'm going to fire up Lightroom here, and we're going to talk about some things in my Lightroom catalog, if I can get it to work. Let me wait for this stream to catch up, make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. So this is my Lightroom. I'm just sitting in here right now, and what my organization looks like. Make sure you can see the whole thing. Yeah, you can. Okay. So right here, what we got is my Lightroom catalog. And if you look over here, everything's under OneDrive. Okay. It's a 10 terabyte NAS system. And currently there's 4.47 terabytes available. Okay. 2 weeks ago, there was nothing available. I filled up my 10 terabyte network drive and didn't even know it. I was sitting here one night, I was working, and all of a sudden the thing started beeping over here. There's a box right over here. Okay, it started beeping, and I thought, what in the world's going on with that? So I logged into it, and it said your drives are full. I said, my drives are full? Well, I went and started looking, and sure enough, they were. I had to do something. I was going to replace the drives, but I said, geez, that's ridiculous. So there's two 10 terabyte drives in there, okay? And they hold they're mirrored. Okay, it's a network attached storage, so there's redundancy there. It's mirrored. So when you write to one drive, it writes it to the second drive. So you got two drives with the identical data on there, and that's my backup for that. Okay, a NAS is not a backup. I also have a little portable SSD drive or mechanical drive. It's 5 terabytes. It's sitting down in a bank safety deposit box. I go down there about every 6 months and pick it up, come home, copy the files onto it, take it back. Okay. Anyways, hold on, hold on 1 second here, just 1 second. That sneeze. Anyways, so I started looking at what I needed to do. The first thing I did was my video files, and I had to come up with a scheme in my head. But the second thing I had to do was I had to get rid of my Lightroom stuff. Okay, and if you'll look right here in the top end of this folder, okay, I've got my cursor sitting on it right now. There's 62,000 plus pictures on this in this catalog. Okay, and it goes all the way back to about 2018. Okay, if you look right here, 2018, there's 4,500 photographs. Okay, so what I've had to do is I've had to get rid of some stuff. Now I get in a real bad habit here. When I copy stuff onto my hard drive, I copy the whole card on there. Okay, and I don't cull anything normally, because I have gone back in the past and picked up a photograph and edited, okay, one that may not have passed the first time but may have passed the second time, and I hate to delete anything, but now with my situation here, I need to be more diligent on culling out things. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick how I do that, and you have to make decisions, okay, when you look at photographs. So I'm going to go into the current folder for this year, which is Pictures 2024. And these are my subfolders in there. Okay, let me close that one down. And I've got them broken down into architecture, birds, events, landscapes, waterfalls, okay, like there. And then some miscellaneous stuff is just here and there. But for this example here, I'm going to go into the birds one, because if you'll see right here, over 50% of my photographs for 2024 are bird photographs, okay? You can see for 2024, there's 17,904 photographs already, and 8,400 of those are birds, okay? So I'm going to open that up and look down through here, and you can see they go all the way back to January. There's January the 14th, January the 20th, and I'm going to scroll on down, because down here near the end is where I got sloppy, okay? Later on in the year, like right here, here's for April 15th, has 870 photographs in there. Now, what in tarnations could be in there that I got 870 photographs in there? Well, you know, I'm looking inside the folder right now, and you can just see there's a lot of redundancy in here, okay? A lot of power shooting. You know, and how many pictures do you need of a cardinal or a bluebird or, you know, what have you? You know, these are just multiple images that were fired away, you know, 10 frames per second on the D500. I think that's a D500. Yeah, it's a D500. Look at all these cardinal pictures here. I don't need all of them, okay? And I don't think I've even gone through here and culled this folder out. There's almost 1,000 pictures here, okay? Anyways, I'm not going to work on that one. What I want to do is go down here a little bit further. I was working on one today. I started at the bottom. I started on this on December the 21st right here. And I've already culled this one out. If you notice, there's only 72 photographs in there. So, you know, what I got here is flagged photographs. I put a pick flag on a little white flag, and I'm going to show you how to do that tonight. And those are the ones I wanted to look at to see if I wanted to edit. Okay, any of these right here, like that one, you know, that might be a good one to edit. That's kind of neat. Okay, here's a woodpecker. You know, I might want to edit that one. I haven't done anything to it yet, but I put a pick flag on it to let me know that I may want to work on that. And I may get this down below 72. But I'm going to back up to the 13th of December right here, okay? And this is the one I did this morning. And if you'll notice down here in the film strip, there's a lot of them that's got a black X, and they're all grayed out. These are the ones that are marked for deletion. They haven't been deleted yet, but they're marked as rejected, okay? And how you do that is you hit the X key on any photograph. You can do it down here in the film strip, or you can do it up here, okay? And you can do it in this view right here if you want to in Lightroom. And you hit the X key. And if you notice the ones that are grayed out, they're marked for rejection. They're ready to be deleted, okay? You'll notice there's some that are not. This one here, for example, this one here I might want to work on. It's got a chickadee in it. It's full of noise. ISO 7200. But this is shot with the Z8, okay? So I'm not too concerned about that high ISO with the Z8. Now, if that was a D500, yeah, 7200 ISO, it'd be hard to recover that, okay? Anyways, I'm going to go back to this view here, and you'll notice I've already marked a bunch of them to get rid of, okay? And I just wanted to show you that. And the ones I'm going to keep have a little white flag on them, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that now, okay? We're going to go up to the 11th where there's 300 photographs that need to be gone through. And I'm going to start right here with the first one. And obviously that's not a bird photograph, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the X key on that photograph, and that set it as rejected, okay? And then I'm going to go look at the next photograph, and this one here is blurry. I'm not going to keep it, okay? I'm going to go ahead and reject that. And we're going to go to the next one and look at that, okay? Might as well say full screen. That's not in the focus, okay? Okay, now I want to show you something. To get this to, if you look at the film strip down here, to get this to advance automatically so you don't have to keep hitting the left button on your mouse to go to the next picture, if you'll turn on the caps lock in Lightroom, okay, and every time you hit the X key or the P key, it'll advance it to the next photograph for you. And I'm going to show you that right now. We're going to start right here, and I'm going to look at that real quick. And that's not really a good photograph that I want to keep, so I'm going to get rid of that. When I hit the X key, watch what happens down here. It went to the next photograph, okay? So I can go into full screen mode like this, and I can just sit right here and keep hitting the X or the P key for a pick. I'm hitting X, X. Let's see what this one looks like. That's on a feeder, so I don't take shots on the feeder. I don't keep them. I get to X, X. He's in the shadows there. I don't like him. I don't like him. Who's that? That's the barn cat. Okay. Yeah, she sits out there like that. She's clever, boy. She knows how to hunt. And she does bring presents every once in a while. From what I hear, there's more birds killed by cats than anything else in the world. That's what I hear. Anyways, I got rid of those pictures. And that one's blurry. Okay, that one's blurry. And I'm not too sure why. I can't tell you. I will tell you one thing. When I'm shooting out my bedroom window, and I was on the ground for these, but when I'm shooting out my bedroom window, the heater will come on. And the exhaust from the heat will come around the side of the house, and it'll cause those little heat distortions in the air. So I have to watch that in the wintertime when the heater's on. None of these tickle my fancy, so I'm just going through here now and hitting X. So if you want to see what's going on right now, down here at the bottom, I'm on picture number 33, and I'm just hitting X, okay? I'm deleting pictures. I haven't seen anything that really strikes me as I want to keep. This was an afternoon session of shooting out in the backyard. I was just sitting out there on a chair blind, and I had the Z8 and the 180 to 600 out there. These are in the shadows. Evening sunlight. It's hard on this woodpecker pole because, as you can see, the bird's in shadow. Okay, so I'm just hitting X going through here now, and I haven't found anything I want to keep. So you can see we're up on picture about number 89 or 90. I think you can see that. You know, can you see that or not? I don't know if you can or not. Let me see. Let's go to full screen. I can't tell if you can see it or not because my chat box is in the way. Anyways, I'm just deleting photographs, okay? And I haven't seen anything I want to keep yet. Bird has a seed in its mouth. I don't take a picture. I don't keep it. If it's on a feeder, I don't keep it. But I do use seeds to attract the birds to a perch, like this one right here. Let's see if there's anything going on there. No. These little titmouse can really move around. So I was on when I was talking to Phil and David and Tim the other night, we were talking about keeper rates on photographs, and Phil's keeper rate was what my keeper rate is. You might take 1,000 photographs and maybe keep 10. I don't know how some of you do. See this one here? This one's not too bad. Okay, I may go ahead and decide to work on this later. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a P, which flags it with a white flag, okay? It's not flagging it for deletion, but it's flagging it for a white flag. And I'm going to look at this next one. I might want to work on that too. It's pretty neat. You got a little catch eye in the bluebird's eye there. So I've got several right there. And I'm always looking for unique poses like that. See how it turned its head a little bit? Okay. And this is one I've already worked on right here. I already worked on it. This was the, yeah, that was the before and that was the after. Anyways, I've got some of these already flagged, okay, and I'm just going to go through here and I really don't care much about any of these photographs because I can reproduce them pretty quick, and that particular perch is not a favorite of mine. I need to get rid of it. It's out in the backyard. It was cut with a chainsaw, and it's got an indentation in it. Okay, so this is pretty cool, but there's a distraction behind it, so I don't like it. Okay, this little Carolina wren. Okay, now we get to the video files. So I've got all these files here that are marked for deletion. Okay, and what I want to do is I'm going to clean those out right now. I'm going to tell Lightroom I want to get rid of those. Okay, so I'm highlighted on the folder that I'm going to work on, and what I want to do is I want to hit Control Delete or Command Delete if you're on a Mac. Okay, and when you do that, you're going to get a dialog box up, and it says delete the 275 rejected photos from the disk or just remove them from Lightroom. That's your choice. I don't want to keep them. Okay, I don't want to keep them at all. So I'm going to say delete from disk. Now make sure you really mean this, okay? Because this is where we're really deleting from the disk, okay? And we have 313 in the folder. We're getting rid of 275 of those. So I'm going to get rid of those right now. And we're going to let Lightroom do its thing. And it's telling you, it's warning you here, permanently delete the files. This is not, there's no trash can, there's no backup. They're going to be gone, okay? And that's what I'm going to do right now. And we're going to let the drive work on that. See you, Rodney. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. So we went down to 43 photographs, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to go to the folder I worked on this morning where there's 325 photographs. I've already flagged this folder. I just haven't deleted yet. I'm going to hold down the Control or Command on a Mac and hit the delete key. And it's telling you now that it wants to delete 306 of the photographs. There's only 325 in there, okay? So we're going to do that. We're going to let that happen. Now, there's another one I need to check. Photo mechanics. Thank you, Michael. Mike, you get much snow over there? I heard it was supposed to snow over that way where you're at. Photo mechanic. Anyways, as you can see, I'm doing this now. If you don't do this every time you shoot, okay, it can get backed up a lot, okay? And that's what's happened here. If you go back up to my catalog here, I've got a whole bunch of folders that go all the way back into August. Looks like July, okay? I think July was the last time I did this. So I've got to work on all these folders down through here over the next couple days and get rid of stuff. And I hope to get this number up here down to a more manageable level. Now, I already did 2022. I did the entire year. It took me about a day, of maybe a day and a half. I didn't do it in one setting, but I called out the whole 2022. When I started, okay, 2022 had something like 11,000 or 12,000 photographs in it. Now it's only got 3,560, and I'm not sure I ain't done, okay? I'm not sure I couldn't get rid of some more in there. So, you know, keeping your Lightroom catalog compact is a good idea. I know I got a couple friends that know snow in Lenore City. Oh, you live in Lenore City. I thought you lived closer to the Smokies. Okay. Yeah, so I got a friend of mine that his Lightroom catalog is very compact, okay? Sometimes, like I said in the beginning of this, I like to go and revisit old photographs to see if I can resurrect them. But if they're blurry and out of focus, or the highlights are blurred, or the exposure is just way out of whack, there's no sense in keeping them, okay? They're not, I always say to everybody, they're not going to get any better on your computer by themselves. You might as well just get rid of them, okay? No sense in carrying them around. That's what I'm doing. This is the first time that I've actually sat down since 2018 and spent the time to call out my Lightroom catalog, okay? So far, with this that I've done and removing some of my video files, I've regained about 4.5 terabytes of my 10 terabyte drive. So I've solved my problem without replacing the drive. I just gotten rid of photographs that were no good. I shouldn't have been keeping in the first place. And that's really what I was doing, okay? Now, this is going to lead me to the second part of this, and it has to do with video creators that are saving their video files. You know, when I do a video production, and the ones who do videos will understand what I'm talking about here, you'll have a lot of source files. You might go out for a day and do video. I do a lot of video, or did a lot of video at work. And there would be, you know, I don't know how big it was, how big the directory was when I got done, but you had all these source files. Well, what you do is you take the source files and you combine them in an editor to make one final movie. You cut and splice and what have you. And when you get done, you create a final product, which is a movie file. So the MP4s, okay, and your video camera is shooting MP4s. You got all these source files, and then you got the final product. And then you post it to YouTube. That's it. You're done. But sitting on my hard drive was all these source files, the final video file that was posted to YouTube, and the thumbnail that I created for the YouTube video, for the thumbnail. Well, the reason you hold on to this stuff, okay? I know some people who don't, but you do. And I'll tell you why you hold on to this stuff. If something was to happen and you know you had a channel that was monetized and YouTube got a hair up their butt and they decided to get rid of your channel, and I've heard horror stories of this happening to people, okay? Or your channel got hacked and you couldn't get back into it, and you would lose everything on YouTube. You'd lose everything. If you kept your posted video file and your thumbnail, you could recreate your channel. You don't need the source files. You've already used those to create a final file. So what I started doing is as soon as I posted the video to YouTube, I went back into the directory and deleted all the source files. Okay, any source file. The only two files I had left in the directory was hold on one second here. So the only thing I had left in the directory was the source file and the thumbnail. That way, if something happened that my YouTube channel got hacked or whatever, okay, I could pump the video back up there and the thumbnail would be there and it would all be good again, okay? So what I started doing is I started getting rid of all my source files. And when I did that, I relieved a lot of storage space, okay? I didn't need to keep all that. I had almost 2 years of source files. There was no reason to keep them, okay? Anyways, I started putting stuff on the SSD drive for my videos. I have an archive now. I have this little, I'll show you right here. I have this little SSD drive right here. It's called, I don't know if you can see it or not. It says video backups, okay? So what I did is I copied all my the final video and the thumbnails and put them into directories by channel, okay, on this drive. So I'm not even keeping the videos on my network storage anymore. Only my photographs are on there. I was using the network storage for photographs and videos, okay? Mind you, I've been doing photographs a lot longer than I've been doing videos. So, you know, by doing all this, what I've done is I've been able to relieve a lot of storage space and make things a lot easier on me for doing that, okay? And I just wanted to share that with you. And I may have done a bad job of explaining it, but it's more of a thinking man's game. If you sit there and look at your storage and what have you, and you know, I know Phil was talking the other night. He uses a SSD drive, external drive, to do all his editing and everything, and it's a little 2 terabyte drive. Well, when he buys these 5 terabyte drives for a backup, and then when his 2 terabyte drive fills up, he just copies it to the 5 terabyte, and he said he can do that 2.5 times. I know Tim, just talking with Tim Childers, he does the same thing. He uses an SSD drive to do his editing. I'm a little different at my house. I have a network attached storage. It's a box that it's a 2-bay box. I'll show it to you real quick. I put a long cable on my camera now so I can move my camera around and show you things. But like right here, okay, right here in this box, there's 2 drives in there. They're network drives, and this has an Ethernet connection, and it connects to the router in the house. So I can actually access my files from anywhere. If I take my I don't have to have a SSD drive hooked up. If I take my notebook and go sit in the chair in the living room and want to edit some photographs in there, I don't need anything. I'm on wireless network. I can access my files off of this drive since it's hooked up to the router, you know, here at the house. But anyways, that's just a little bit of backup strategy. Now I want to show you, I did a thing here. I want to see if I can move back over here real quick. I had a lot of trouble with this. I'm still trying to get used to OBS and how it works and stuff. But I wanted to show you something. I did a panorama shot in the Great Smoky Mountains last month. And let me see if I can find it right here. Anybody who drives around on Hyatt Lane, okay, they know where this spot is, most likely. Anyways, I went there 3 different evenings. Okay, I was camping there in the Cove campground, and I went there 3 different evenings waiting for this light to happen. And I wanted to show you how you stitch these together. Okay, I was using the Nikon Z50. Okay, and the 16 to 50 kit lens to create this. Okay, it was not my Z8. It was not an expensive camera. So these are the sequence of the shots. Okay, I'm gonna show them to you real quick. This is the first shot, the second shot, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I think I took 7. Okay, to get that. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how in Lightroom we put those stitch photographs together. So I'm going to select all 7 of them right here. Okay, I'm going to right click on one of the photos, go to photo merge and select panorama. Now I had my lens set on 50 millimeters, and from what I hear, this is what you want to do when you're doing panorama. You want to set your lens on 50 millimeters. So I did cylindrical. I let it pick the auto crop and the auto settings, and it's going to create a stack for me. So I'm just going to merge that. Okay, that's the first thing you do with the panorama is you stitch it all together. The exposure was exactly the same for each frame. I shoot manual exposure 1/60th of a second, f11 at ISO 100. Your tripod was perfectly level. Okay, and what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put a crop on it. Okay, in Lightroom. And you can see how the distortion there, how it did it. See the distortion at 50 millimeters of the lens. And I'm going to put a small crop on. Actually, I'm going to do a 16:9 crop right here. And we'll make it just a little bit smaller. And what I'm going to do is change this, unlock that, and bring this up a little bit. I don't want so much of that grass in the picture. Probably a little less sky too. Let me crop it up. This is not the best series I did. I'm just showing you right here. Okay, so that is the stitched together images. Okay, now what I'm going to try to do real quick, and then see if I can show you how I created this photograph. Okay, I have a video here somewhere if I can find it. Let's see. Do. Yeah. Let's see if I can play this video for you. Okay, so first thing I need to do, okay, is to level my tripod head. Now I've got the Really Right Stuff BH. So this is me fumbling. Here I am. This is me fumbling with my computer. Yeah. Hold on one second here. Let me add a source here. Okay. Media source. And let me go find it real quick. Okay, so first thing I need to do, okay, is to level my tripod. I think I got it now, so we're going to let it roll. Okay. Okay, so first thing I need to do, okay, is to level my tripod head. Now I've got the Really Right Stuff BH 55. Let me get this level here. It's hard for me to see up there. I think I got it. With the pano head on it. So all I got to do is level the ball head and the pano head
will do the rest of it for me. So, oh man, I tell you what, I'm gonna go into about 50 millimeters. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to focus. I'm gonna change my camera settings right here real quick. Hold on one second. Somebody just stopped out here on the road and said, okay, you don't have a 6-foot lens, so what are you shooting? And I told him I was shooting a landscape of the mountains here, and he wanted to let me know that there was a bear back there in the trees back there. That's okay. I'm gonna stay right here and shoot this. Now on that previous shot, I chose not to bracket, but I believe I'm going to bracket this time. One stop under, one stop over, and I'm gonna set the camera to take these photographs for me. So this will end up being an HDR panorama that I'll have to stitch together inside of Lightroom. So you got bracketed shots, 3 shots of each position. So you got about a total of 21 shots if I do all 7. Just waiting on the light right now. One thing you want to do is when you're doing landscape photography like this, where you're waiting on light in the sun, is to take your time. Don't get in a big rush. Just stand out here and kind of take the moment in. It's very peaceful and quiet out here today. And I'm just waiting for some different things to happen with the light. I can see out here, let me turn it around so you can see yourself. I can see where the sun is playing with the light right there on the foothills, but I like to get a little more light on the whole scene, and we're gonna just see what happens out here in just a second. Just hang it out and wait. Yeah, I'm not too sure how many shots I'm gonna do. I'm focusing about a third into the frame, almost midpoint, and I'm gonna take my first shot right now. I'm at 1/25 of a second at, let me see, let me change it just a little bit. I'm gonna be 1/20th of a second at f11 ISO 100. I'm gonna put the 2-second timer on this so I don't introduce any shake. Where's it at? Yeah, I just missed it right there. And it's got bracketing turned on. Let's turn that off. Okay, now with no bracketing. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first shot. This is at 50 millimeters on this lens. Got a 2-second timer. And we'll turn the camera about 15 degrees. And we'll turn the camera another 15 degrees. That's 3 shots so far. That's 4. That's 5. Be careful you don't refocus the camera. And I'm gonna do one more. And that's 6 shots, okay? That's how you do a pano. Now it's real easy to do when you have a pano head on your tripod, on your ball head, which I do, okay? So anyways, I'm gonna stitch those together in the computer and I'll show you what they turned out right now.
So that's how you do it. That's how you shoot the panos. That was using the Nikon Z8 with the 24-120 lens set at 50 millimeters. Like I said, I try to do the panos with 50 millimeters. I always go vertical, turn the camera vertical. So if you got an L bracket on your camera, that makes it real easy to do. And it's important if you're going to do panos that you have an L bracket. And the reason why is you need to level your tripod head, the ball head. Now that ball head that I use has a pano top to it. So once you level the top of the ball head, there's a little bubble level in there. When you turn it, the top turns, not the bottom part of the ball head turns. The top of this one turns. So they call that a pano ball head. You can use it as a regular ball head too, but if you want to do panos, you just got to level you don't need to level the tripod, you just need to level the ball head, and then the top will actually spin, and it spins independently of the rest of the ball head, which makes these panoramas easier to do. Hudson Henry, who I watch a lot on YouTube, he's pretty big on panorama shots and stuff too, you know. So anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to do this. I just wanted to do this live stream. You guys were my test bed. I need a lot of practice to get everything correct. I don't practice enough, so you know, I only had like 5 or 6 people viewing tonight, and you know, it really doesn't bother me. We were talking, you know, me and some of the guys were talking about our photography channels and stuff, and especially this week, I've noticed that all the channels have been kind of quiet. There's not been a lot of activity on the channels, you know, as far as new subscribers or watch hours and stuff. And I have a feeling it's because of the holidays. Okay, I'd say after the holidays things will pick back up again. But the photography niche, it's, you know, on YouTube, it's tough. Okay, you just got to do it for yourself if you're doing a YouTube channel. And I suggest everybody do one. And when I started, you know, Phil encouraged me to do my photography channel, and we were hiking together one day, and I said, I probably, what did I say? I said, "Yeah, I probably look stupid on YouTube." He said, "Everybody looks stupid on YouTube." I said, okay. So it doesn't really matter to me, but I'm using some of these shows like this to perfect my technique with OBS. OBS is a open source software program that allows us to do these broadcasts. It's very sophisticated. It lets you do scenes, and just like you just seen, it lets me run a video off my computer. I've got a microphone on my vlogging camera here. You can bring in audio from different. It's really complicated, okay? And there's not an instruction manual. You just got to go on YouTube and, you know, watch some videos and stuff. Anyways, hey, listen, I'm gonna get off here, and thanks for hanging in there with me tonight. If you're still there, and everybody have a Merry Christmas, and I hope the weather cooperates for you. And I understand it's supposed to get warm next week. I'm thinking about maybe going out and doing some photography, as I am unofficially right now retired. December 31st is my official last day. I'm on vacation till then, and I go back for one more day before the end of the year, and that's my last day there. So I still owe them a day, and I want to give them everything they deserve. Okay. Listen, I'll talk to y'all later. Merry Christmas to everybody, and see you later. Bye-bye.